In the last episode, we did a bunch of stuff in the Corvette. We put back the timing cover. We also torqued everything to spec, and the main star of the show was the new optic spark. We put a brand new optic spark, which this was the main reason why I started doing this entire job. But once you are doing that kind of job, there's always those while you were in there. So did a bunch of things, even things that I didn't want to do. As the heater core, I wasn't planning to do this, but I had to do, so we ended up put a brand new heater core on this thing, which this was one of the while you were in there, but I think was totally worth it. Before we go ahead, I want to say thank you for every single comment. You guys gave me so much support and also so many good ideas, which we're gonna address on this video. But before we go ahead, I have to address one thing. I got a bunch of comments saying that I used AI on my last upload, saying that wasn't my voice, that was terrible, that I should stop using AI. This is what a bunch of you guys were listening.
The goal now is to put all the stuff back, and I hope we don't find any major issues anymore as that goes. Now it's going.
That wasn't clear in my voice, and I didn't use the AI. That was a feature that YouTube put on some creators, and mine was one of those. And of course, that wasn't working right because you had to switch your settings to Portuguese so you could hear my voice. Here it comes.
I clean, everything is clean, everything is ready to go.
Everything that I painted is painted. Now we're gonna put the new parts on. I will show you the parts. So here it goes. That's the original voice. So I know a lot of you guys got mad on me, but there's nothing I could do. A lot of people I tried to comment and say change your settings. I reach out to YouTube so they can review it. It's actually under review so they can see what they can do about it. Anyway, I appreciate your support, but I'll never use AI. I like the way we do videos, which is me talking with my funny accent, and I hope you guys understand. So let's get to the new video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I know sometimes I want to set this car on fire, especially when you go a lot of steps forward and then a bunch of more backward, but it is a project car at the end of the day. In the last video we got a lot of done. I have like a mix of stuff to do because we removed the coolant reservoir and a bunch of other things, but at least the heater core, it's out of the way. We're good to go there. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna paint it the windshield washer reservoir, and also we're gonna clean reservoir for the coolant because I know it's really bad. When I drained this coolant though, I noticed it was pretty bad. So let's do this 2 parts and then we see where we go from there. For the windshield reservoir, I just use plastic prime and plastic paint. Now for the coolant reservoir, I had 2 options. One, buy a new one, but that thing was $50. I was like, I can't clean it up. So I basically used a lot of hot water, and as you can see, this thing was pretty nasty. In the effort to try to clean as much as was possible, I used lime away. This thing, it removes everything. So I basically pour a lot of it and a lot of hot water inside, and look at that hose. So we can tell 2 things. This coolant was never flush, and this explains why I was having a heater issue as well. So the goal was to clean every single hose and try to clean this reservoir as much as possible. While we wait that reservoir, and also I want to let dry the reservoir for the coolant, and for the washer we let dry because we painted. Let's do some wiring, right? Because I have to replace this bad boy here, which is this is the MAF sensor. It goes in there, and I gotta replace this one here. This one is gonna be a little trickier, and I'm gonna show you why. But this one should be straightforward, and then I'm probably gonna, do some wiring cleanup, put some nice tape on it, get this bad boy here square away because it needs it. There's no way this is going back this way. And this one, the problem with this one is the clamp, right? See, it's broke. So once the clamp is broke, you cannot attach here. You still can though, technically, but it's not gonna stay in place, you know what I'm saying? So you have to fix that. All right, for this one here, I got 1992, 1997 LT camera for a Corvette map sensor. This is exactly the same colors. So it's a matter of just spiking wires and attach them. So I'll do a little longer. I rather do a little longer than too small. For this connection, the only thing you need to keep in mind is the part you find online doesn't have the same color wires. So what I did, I was going to replace one by one so I knew the exactly order. Alright, while we wait for the other part to dry, I'm gonna start put everything back as far as hose goes. Just a less cleanup. So if you don't have access to this anymore, all cleaning purpose, that should do. When I'm done, if this car like works, we're gonna do like a full detailing. But some parts are just easier to do now that we are here. Should put it at the bottom first, because then everything else should be easier. I have a bunch of this Dream Black Restore, which I haven't been using a lot, so I'm gonna give it a try. You don't even see it, but come on. You gotta do that right? Because if that works, I'll do for the ones that you actually see. Yeah, definitely looks better than it was. All right, let's bring the Reservoir. All right, this here though is as good as it can get. So the one that comes from the heater coil goes on the top. The other one on the bottom though. This one here on the bottom. You guys saw how bad this thing was, right? I don't think it's gonna get any better. I tried to buy a new one, but it's like 80 bucks though. So I think cleaning up should do. And at least now it makes me feel good why we didn't have a heater, because everything was clogged, even the hose. Bro, I almost forgot to plug the same thing that was unplugged. What is wrong with me? We are here to fix it, not to make worse. There we go. Now we are talking. As part of the cooling system, I picked up this brand new Reservoir, because as you can see here, this one, it's pretty in bad shape and I don't want to take any risk. I'm gonna do some cleanup. You can see here, this car was painted, but the paint job was like just miserable. So maybe I will just clean it up once we take that out. Maybe spray some black stuff in here, see if there's anything there that we need to find, and we'll go from there, right? What I can see is a couple, I think it's 10 millimeters here, another 10 here, which you gotta come from the inside there. Let's keep working. Just a little paint in there, nothing too crazy, but the difference on this two is, boys, I would never get that one as clean as this one. So I think it's just gonna be a nice blend. And the cap, I'm just gonna clean it up because as everything, it's pretty dirty. This car was painted though, so that's why I sprayed it, because the way this car was painted, although the paint is okay, out of 10, I would say it's like a 7. There is over spray everywhere. As you can see here, the lines are black and should be silver. So I'll probably touch up those lines when I get a chance. But it's definitely not the best paint job, but it's solid, let's say. I know painting a car is very expensive. So the goal here was just clean it up, make sure it's nice. Now let's put the new reservoir in, and that should look pretty good. Comes with clips, but you don't need it. Not for this one, maybe for a different model you do need it. Man, new parts, boys. Doesn't get any better. I'm just gonna mock this up. I'm gonna remove this clamp, and I'm gonna use the one that was the reservoir that I just removed it. The little things, guys, the little things. Yeah, when I bought the car, the previous owner told me that the car was painted, and you can tell it was painted. And he's like, "Yeah, it's not the best paint job. I think the guy smoked something when he painted the car." But to be honest, though, finding a C4 in a good paint condition, you pay the price. So, of course, I didn't expect to do all this job here on this car, but paint wise, I think there's a couple of rough spots even with the car painted, but overall it's good bones compared to what I saw there previously. Was like, bro, you know what, let me drop this line here. But the goal here was just to make better than was, and it's 100% better. I think this is gonna be hard to be considered a show car, but it's definitely gonna be a nice one. And it's gonna be a drivable, and I'm not going for a show car thing, but I'm going for a nice car. And the final touch, remember how this was? Still like not perfect, but woohoo! Yeah, we went from all of this to all of this. Man, this is so much better. I had to do it because it just looks right when you see this reservoir like this, and the painting, like the black mat in there, perfect, clean. Oh, as I said, you see like there's a lot of overspray here whenever this car was painted. We'll take care of this later, but right now the coolant system is pretty much done. That everything in place. The main hoses are clean. I already plugged this one in, but I also need to do a flush on this too and the radiator. But I'm not gonna do this now because we have a bigger problem to solve. The last video I showed you guys when we put the timing cover in, the there was a huge RTV on the bottom that I said the book doesn't say anything about it. There's nothing here about it. I'm gonna leave it without it, right? Ryan, one of the followers, comment below, and I also pinned his comment because I think we had so much good information on. That wasn't the RTV and that wasn't any kind of thing. That was the oil pan gasket. Yes, I was about to start the car without part of the oil pan gasket. In other words, I got a brand new oil pan gasket here. That was the part that I removed because the timing cover sits here. So this is a brand new gasket for the oil pan. We have to drop the oil pan. That's what I was going to say. Like, you go a lot of steps forwards, but you gotta take a couple of steps backwards. If I put the water pump now, we should be able to start the car, but I would have a major leak. So thank you guys. Thank you, Ryan, to leave a comment to open my eyes to those things. So I never dropped an oil pan before, but I think we can do it. That's why the car is on the quick jacks. We're just gonna also do an oil check and an oil change since we are in there, because you have to drain the oil to drop the oil pan. I'll also do the transmission filter since we're gonna be underneath the car. I'm glad that I got that though. I'm not as glad that I have to do, but I'm also glad that I get to do because I get to learn, right? Let's go underneath the car, drain that oil, take the filter out, and we're gonna start putting things apart. Not sure how complicated it's gonna be, but the oil pan has to come out. Why? That was so loose. There's oil on this. And it's black. There's no way this oil was changed. Alright, let's wait until this drains and then we're gonna remove the filter. I know this is crazy, but this oil filter gave me such a hard time. I tried to remove it. I don't have the right tool, maybe that's why, but what I was trying to do here is I punch a screwdriver through the filter, which I have done this so many times in the past. Whenever the filter is stuck, you don't use the filter when you are changing your oil filter, right? So I have used that so many times. I tried this here with different screwdrivers and pliers and everything, and it was stuck. So I just gave up and took it out the entire filter house, which at the end of the day was too hard to take the filter out with all the assembly together. I'm struggling a little bit because the oil pan has been, but you see it's loosed, but look at that, it's hitting the starter right there, see? So the starter has to come out. I already removed this. This is the flywheel cover. It's always loose. I'm spending too much time on this, that's why I'm not recording, because I want to focus on getting this out. There's another bolt in there, see that one? I have to remove. With that, the starter should come down, and then we should be able to remove the oil pan. Let's see. After a lot of trial and tribulation, we got it. And here you can see the RTV that I put it on. Definitely a good thing that I'm doing. The engine looks good though. Look at how clean it is. There. That's the oil taken there. That's the flywheel. I had to remove the starter though. The starter is sitting there. I'll check it out how much is a new starter, because this one's pretty dirty. Although it's working, I don't think I'm gonna spend money on it. How shiny it is, the cylinder walls. So I don't see anything like that tell me that this engine it's fried or bad. So it's after 30 something years old, still looking pretty decent though. And here's the oil pan, as you can see. This is where the gasket that I put on broke it off, as you can see here. So we're gonna remove all this, clean it up, everything. I don't see things on the oil there. It's just like RTV or part of the gasket. Here's the flywheel cover, and here you saw I was struggling to take the filter out. The filter didn't came out, so I have to remove the entire house. So I'm gonna do a complete cleanup. Look at all these bolts and everything. It's doable though. You gotta remove the things that I didn't see, that the book was very helpful, is you gotta remove the flywheel cover and also they started. The started is loose there. I just putting hanging there. We'll see what I'm gonna do. But right now, a bunch of cleanup, and we're gonna start putting everything back on. But this is definitely a good thing that I did, because here we would have a massive leak, a massive leak. Definitely something, if you're doing the timing cover, you need to do this. Here we have the oil pan. I don't see anything in here besides oil. I don't see any piece of metal, anything. This is just a gasket. This is the tube that broke, so I probably need to get a new one for see, there was a tube in here for the oil sensor. I'll probably need to get a new one. I'm gonna order one tonight, and then we should be able to put a brand new one in. And yeah, let's get this thing cleaned up and go from there. Everything cleaned up nicely. I mean, sorry for the light, but this is my kind of shed, my work area, so that's what I have to do. Outside is miserable. So the oil pan, it's clean, ready to go. I gotta buy the new sensor, which should be here in a while. The oil filter housing came out great. We're gonna put new seals on it. Some brackets clean up nice. This here though, so bad. We went all the way from this to this. Look at this. This is the flywheel cover, and here I have all the hardware ready to go. So now we need to go and clean up underneath of the car, because that's what we need to do. That's what we need to clean. Look at all the RTV that I put it on, that now I need to remove it. So yeah, work wrong, work twice. So the goal is to clean all this gunk in here, clean over there, clean here, take this start out maybe, and then we clean, because look how bad this start is though. Sorry for the light though, it's pretty hard to work on my back here. So I'll probably drop off this starter and then clean it up. I'll try to show as much as I can, but I'm just gonna rip it up, and I'm just gonna start focus and work on it. I'll put the camera somewhere, probably not my phone, because it's like there's no much room, as you guys can see here. Like there's my legs. So I'll try to show as much as I can, but I cannot promise. So let's get this baby clean. The goal here was to clean as much as was possible. Of course, that gasket that I put in there, the RTV, I had to take it out. And also all this oil leak that we had throughout the years was really in there. So I really want to clean. I cleaned the starter, but I'll tell you what, doing that gasket for the oil filter housing, it's a paper, that was the worst. There was a gasket here, you saw I'm taking off. So I took everything off. Everything there is just like, it's not coming off, but so we should be able to put a new seal on it. I cleaned all the gasket, the old gasket from the oil pan. I cleaned the starter, regular cleanup. I think should be good to go. The flywheel cover, which is here, is already clean. Sorry for the poor footage, you guys. It's just like I'm giving my best. I'm trying to give my best, but the cylinder walls there, you can see, pretty clean. So everything looks good here. Let's try to put this oil pan back, because that's what we need to do. And all the seals and everything. I'll take you guys to a better spot because I'm tired. The new arsenal for the oil pan, and here is the new gasket. And as you remember, and thank you for the subscribe Nate, which I probably said his name wrong the first time, but I'm correct myself, because he mentioned that whenever I remove, here's the front of the here's the back of the car, here's the front of the car. So the timing cover seats here. So can you imagine it? I cut this, so we would have a massive leak in here if I leave like this. But the car is getting a brand new gasket, Felpro gasket, which comes with the entire kit, which is this one. We got a gaskets also for the oil filter housing, which there are two, right? This one goes here, and this one goes on top of it. So very straightforward. Here I try to lay down all the nuts and bolts and screws, whatever it is, because it's a mix of things. Those are for the flywheel cover, and those are for that housing there. So I should have everything here, and the reason why I want to show you here is because over there it's pretty hard to show, and here I have my book next to me so I could see everything that shows like what is a bolt, what is a nut, because to be honest, I don't remember. I could look at the footage for sure, but having this book makes so much easier. We have all the torques we needed, so new gasket, and then we have also this part here which is inside, which I'll bring it down here. We cannot forget that once we put that on. The challenge is first, work on my back is not easy at all, so I apologize for any footage, but once I'm down there I want to get things done, so I try to put a camera there so you guys can see it. And doing this, can you imagine like to fit this without like trying to maneuver and keep this gasket in place? So Felpro gives you this snap ups. So you basically, you put the gasket there first, and you put one of those on this, and the gasket stay in place, and then we come with the oil pan after. So we're gonna start this first, and then you can screw. You're gonna see when I do makes more sense, right? Let's put this thing done. You saw down there was pretty clean. Now let's get this one in, and then we can put the oil pan. I broke this sensor though. I ordered another one. Should be here by tomorrow, and then we're gonna snap a new one there, and that should be it for the oil pan. Right, let's get in underneath. The gasket, it's in, and that's what I mean about the, let me get some lights to be better. There you go. By the snap-ons or whatever they call that. So you put it there as a bolt, right? And then we're gonna put the oil pan on it, like using this as our reference. This is gonna be probably the worst part of the job. So I have the oil pan here, bolt. Let's put this bad boy in. Let's see what I can get. Could tell you that was easy, but that wasn't as easy as I explained, because that snap on was too long for this, so I couldn't maneuver the oil pan as much to get that done. So I had to cut it, and a lot of trial and error I was able to get in it. You guys can buy me a lift, I'll take it. Alright? Learn from my mistakes. That's how it goes, guys. This channel, you get the real life. Not people skipping steps. See, there's this gasket here that we need to put it. Maybe I'll put some RTV to make our lives a little easier. Bro, I just put this thing on. I literally spent like an hour on my back, put everything back together. The filter housing, the flywheel cover, the starter, and also all the brackets and everything. So I torqued to the specs that I saw in the book, but man, that was a tough one. You guys wonder how messy it gets. Look at that. Parts all over the place, but hey, worth it. All right, let's drop this bad boy in, the new sensor, and there's a new seal on it all the way in, because that's plastic though, so you gotta really be careful. If you wonder what size it is, it's 30. Don't ask me why I have this bad boy here, but I just do. And this bad boy should go in here. Go in here. There we go. Beautiful. Let's put a new filter on. Oil pan is in. We need to put the water pump in. The hoses are so bad. I'll show you here in a little bit. So I'm gonna do the same thing. So I remove all the hoses, and I'm actually painting some stuff here, which is the clamps, because I want everything to be black. I'm basically gonna do the same procedure with those hose that I did with this one that we already put back, and that should be good. So while we wait for those to dry, let's attack this bad boy here, right? Because this needs to come out, and we're gonna put a new one in. We might as well just clean everything here, and we go from there. That part of the AC done, I decided to clean all the hoses for the coolant that I haven't done yet. So as you can see, a lot of snow on the ground, but I had to face it and clean as much as I could. I could get new hoses, but at this point I have to start saving money here and there, and why not? So I use the same method: water, lime away, and a lot of patience. There's no way I can clean this entire radiator. There is, I have to remove it, but I'm not feeling like doing it. Just because what I saw coming out of the hose was better than I thought would be, to be honest. So I'm gonna try to clean up. I put like a bucket on that side. I'm gonna just pour water here and see what's gonna happen. Clean enough. Gonna clean also this surface here, because it's a little bad. So we're gonna clean that up. And then we should be able to put the entire coolant system. The best solution would be take the radiator out and so on and so forth. But we move from there. If we need to do that, we will. But I think now this car is gonna be good for another 30 years of coolant. Probably the worst shot ever, but what I did here was I was cleaning and I put my pressure washer without the pressure, just the hose basically, putting water in the radiator, and just did that like for a couple times so I could get this as clean as possible. also went ahead and removed the cold intake just to clean it up underneath as well. My microphone stopped working at this point, so as you can see here, the water coming out of the radiator wasn't that bad, but I did this for like probably 6-7 times until get completely done. The same for the hose. The hoses here were drying, and I just noticed they are from Napa, so it's probably an aftermarket one. That means somebody already changed that. At this point, the thing I want to do is clean up all the connections and make sure that the connections are good, clean, and also put some extra tape on it so it's just super protected. I start putting the coolant back on. I cleaned those hoses as much as I could. I painted the clamps. This one's just messed up, but I painted the clamps in black. We should be able to put it back on. So let's put this one back on and let's start reassembling the hose. Although I'm still waiting for one part, but I'm gonna put the two main hoses, and then we're gonna start putting the AC compressor back on and the alternator, and that should get us very close. Let's keep working. I'm not gonna lie, that hose, the bottom, not the perfect job to do. But now let's drop in the AC compressor and then the alternator. It's gonna look so much better. We're gonna make some progress. We're gonna feel better about it, right? Let's do it. Fresh. I'm gonna say all new, fresh. Parts that we all have been waiting for. No, we all, but me. It is the water pump. Let's see how hard this is gonna be. I hope it's not that awful, although I'm quite sure it's gonna be somehow. Needs to happen. The one thing I forgot to say though, I removed this out of camera, and there's a special tool that you put it on. I use that. I just don't want to record because that took me so much time. I had like to lose this, the optic key and so on and so forth. So yeah, so you know. All right, let's see if we can get this. Well, this thing just fell on me as I was working. But anyway, I got the water pump in, and the main thing it was what it was holding was actually these two lines because they were behind. So now I ran over here. Let me see if I can get more lights for you boys. There we go. So I ran that line That's the vacuum line for the optic spark. So I put one bolt here on the water pump. Basically, we did a lot of stuff, but I'm stuck right now because 3 main issues that I wish I could finish. I could move forward, and I just don't want to wait until the parts are here to release the video because it already has been too long. So I'll walk you guys through the parts. First is, look at this, look how messy it is this coolant T. As you can see here, this one has a hole in it. I don't want to put at risk to put it on, so I went out to AutoZone to try to buy one, and nothing. So I ordered online, should be here in the 2 days. Yeah, there's nothing like next day deliver. So this is issue number 1. Issue number 2, there's this vacuum line here, you can see, broke. That attached to here and here. So that broke. That would give us a massive vacuum line. I gotta figure out where to buy this. If you guys know, let me know. I don't know yet. And issue number 3 is the alternator is broke. Look at that. So there's no way I can put a bolt in it. And also, to be honest, I think this alternator has, served well. I painted, but as you can see, the painted is not great. So I ordered a new one as well. Should be here in 2 or 3 days. But pretty much we did a bunch of progress though. We put a bunch of new stuff on it. We're so close to start this car once we have all the hoses here ready to go. And I'm gonna put all the bolts. The main connections are done. As you can see here, I rewrap everything like good tape. Same here, you see. So I rewrap everything so everything is stuck in. So I'll probably do on this one as well. But I just don't want to drag it more. I have to put all this up in part. I took it off the battery. As you can see, the battery is sitting there. I took the air filter so I can clean over there. So there's still a lot of work, but my goal is to start this car on the next video. When I started this video, the goal was to, try to start the car today in this episode. But I have been so busy with other stuff. Just to give you guys an idea, I spend like 2 hours a day, sometimes an hour a day here in the garage after doing everything, a full-time job, spend time with my son. If you guys don't know, I have a toddler, so that's where my focus is now. It's like spend time with him. I actually have a 9-to-5 job, and then I have time to work on the car. But I really want this car to be done. At least not done, but working in great condition, or at least drivable, so we can focus on the fun stuff. I think in the next episode, we can definitely start this car. Definitely accomplish a lot on this video though. All the paint job, the oil paint work was something that I wasn't expect to do. I was like, there's no way I can do this, and I pulled that off. If you include the oil paint, which took me a couple days to do. I know it seems really fast here, but it took me a couple days. The paint, the drying, the cleaning. So it's a lot of things that I don't want to go back, like when the car is running, to do. So that's what I'm doing now. I don't know if the car is gonna have another issue or not, but those 3 parts are holding me back. And I don't want to wait because then it's another 3 days and then I still have to edit. So I hope you guys understand I'm not dragging by any means. It's just the real life. But let me know what you think. I hope you guys understand where this project is going. One thing I like to say all the time is I'm learning so much. Has been incredible, this journey. And thank you again, everybody, for the help, for the comments, for the likes and everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this journey. Let's cross our fingers. The next episode we can start the car, maybe drive. There's no... We finally got a break on the snow, so I want to take advantage of this time to, if the car is drivable, get outside and see what this thing can do. So far, I think we are in a good track, but we still need those parts. Should be here this week, and I'm going to start recording right now the next video. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys next one. Never forget, enjoy your life and work hard for it.